Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Super Subs Podcast. Arish and Narv here. Today, we will go through a few of the Premier League games, and then we will touch on a couple La Liga games. And I think that's all. So, to
La
get it,
Liga heads over here.
oh yeah. Um, so to kick it off, Narv, let's go with our Super Subs of the week. I'll let you go first today.
My super sub of the week will be from the game that actually just wrapped up just a few minutes ago from Real Oviedo versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid super sub, I'll say Vinny Jr. coming off the bench. He's had some He had good years at Madrid, but had some lackluster performances. Definitely below par last season. First game of the season this year didn't really look up to par, so got benched. Controversy. Rodrigo got the start, but Vinny,
Don't forget the R.
yeah, don't forget the R. But Vinny came off the bench with the assist, and then uh, towards the end, got the second goal to wrap it up.
Yeah, Madrid fans sweating there at the end. Disappointing that we didn't get to see more Santi, but
I know.
yeah, we'll touch on this game a little more later. But for me, I had a couple shouts, but I'm gonna have to go from the game this morning too. Mr. Extra Meal on death row, Smith Rowe, came in and pretty instantly. Fulham um, got a goal assisted by Iwobi, which was a really nice pass. It was like one of those shot cross, but it was like dangerous, perfect area. Just need a glancing touch. I forget who the commentator was after Tim Howard, maybe, but blaming Binder. Like, I get he makes mistakes, but like that one was not his fault at all. So good run. I do blame a few United players on that one, but
We'll get to
uh,
that.
we'll
Yeah.
get to that. So. To start it off, we'll go back a few days to Friday. Chelsea up to Chelsea 5-1 versus West Ham. Graham Potter. Why am I lagging? What the heck? Let me give me one sec. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I got you on audio.
Okay, let me change my webcam. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, but yeah, West Ham versus Chelsea on Friday. Graham Potter said they needed the fans more involved, backing his team. But yeah, West Ham did get an early goal. Um, but I think the big talking point, we'll start from the beginning, was Cole Palmer coming in and was injured during warm-up, so he couldn't start. So it was a really first big game for Julian Estavo in terms of European play, getting that start. So I'm sure he was kind of under a lot of pressure, like mindset going in that you're coming off the bench, but he's starting for our best player, Cole Palmer. Um, I think overall he had a really good game, but West Ham did have that banger Paqueta, which ultimately came from his mistake, just trying to do a little too much.
Lesson learned though. Um,
Hmm.
because I mean he still did like flicks and stuff here and there later throughout the game, but just definitely not in his own half.
Yeah, I think there's like a time and place for that, and I mean that's just the player he is.
Likes to
Um,
entertain and
yeah,
not
exactly,
going.
but it's not the right area to do it. And that strike was pretty good, but and West Ham fans, it was a pretty loud stadium. But after that, um, I think once we got our first goal, there was kind of no looking back.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's the old Juan Bissaka. Um, it's one of his poor games, but that first goal kind of lost his man there in the back post.
I would say like both, like even that corner, and then our second goal, which was a really nice build up from our end. He kind of lost track of his man.
Hmm. And that third goal, on Enzo Fernandez, like he was marking them the whole time, and then some reason just yeah.
What were there any like standout performances for you from the Chelsea side?
Um, I mean, I guess yeah. Shout out, Stevo. I call him Stevo because that's like how we kind of pronounce it in that blue screen thing. But
Hmm.
yeah, good performance by him. Like you said, like coming in, filling the shoes of Cole Palmer. It's a big ask.
Hmm.
But he had a good game. I thought Casado and Enzo complemented each other well. And I also liked that Maresca kind of played to his players' profiles. Gusto, he's not the greatest at inverting, but I mean, what he is really strong at is getting up and down the wing, um, using his speed and like he was basically hugging that touchline most of the game, and that was causing a lot of issues. Uh, and then also, again, shouts out Trevor Chalobah. Um, way
Oh
he
yeah.
was treated, but like ever since getting that recall back from Palace, I mean, he's been quite important and filled in for Levi Colwill pretty well.
Yeah. Speaking to Caicedo's point, it's crazy that like 2 years ago when he made his debut, he was kind of on the 3-1. We were on the 3-1 losing side against West Ham.
Mm.
And I remember a lot of like I was pretty high on Caicedo and like I was like, I think the 100 mil is worth it for him. And then like after that game, like people were trolling him and just like I remember I was getting some texts like this guy's you guys overpaid, you guys got scammed, but kind of a full circle. Like 2 years later, like his 100th appearance for us, like he had another 10 out of 10 performance, one of our best players. Ended up scoring too.
Yeah.
Just a
So,
kind of a full circle moment there.
mhm.
Storybook.
Yeah, I don't think Chelsea, I wouldn't say that anyone really had a poor game. Um, and it was nice being able to rotate to get legs on the bench players for you guys as well.
And I know like Delap, there were some talks like, oh, 2 games, that double 007 type performance again. And um, even if we scored five, he wasn't on the score sheet, but like, or even an assist. But I thought he was really good. Like outside of scoring, like his hold up play was amazing. That second goal, I mean, Kilman's like a big boy, and it was like you could tell the physicality there. Like
Mhm.
gave me like Drogba vibes.
Yeah, he's definitely a really strong player. So that second goal was, um, I mean, I think that was all Delap kind of shrugging off his man, holding that up for the play to continue.
And we talked about kind of, Cole Palmer, what's his best position or how can he be most effective? And I think today, or Friday, it seemed like he was going to be playing off the right, which we've been talking about, you know, might be the best use of him. Um, but I think João Pedro, like, we've really hit the jackpot in terms of like his versatility. So like Cole Palmer, he does have the ability to like play out wide there.
Yeah.
Um, I do still think we do need another signing, and I think like João Felix would have been great. That number 10, if João Pedro, we can rotate him up top, but like
Mhm.
I still feel like we need another number 10.
Still going for Xavi Simmons. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah. Um, I mean, you guys are quite stacked, so it's hard to see where you could fill in. Um, like I don't think Xavi Simmons would be a starter like week in, week out.
yeah, I think he would definitely be rotated in, but offers like some more flexibility for our team.
Yeah,
But I
that's
think this is where also like I really want to keep Nicholas Jackson because like if God forbid something happens to João Pedro or Delap, we'll be running thin, especially with Mark Gahey at Sunderland.
Mhm.
Um, and Nicholas Jackson can kind of fill in, and he also adds another element to the like he's kind of like Delap, like you can see his goal threat, but like he also offers a lot more than just goals and assists.
Yeah, I'd say his link up plays quite nice. Delap's link up play, I don't think he's like gelled in fully with the team yet, but his hold up play is better than Jackson, but Jackson's like actual link up play, I'd say is slightly better than Delap.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's having João Pedro
Chill,
as
chill.
yeah, as having him being so versatile is just big and like I think that's got to be one of the steal signings of the summer. Like Prem proven, still young, just reaching his heights.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I will say like this game, I was a little worried when we went down 1-0 because it just seemed like maybe it was going to be one of those types of games where we should be winning, getting the 3 points, but Cole Palmer's out. Like maybe it's just a bad day for us. And even Paqueta's goal, like I was disappointed in terms of like our midfield not closing down or center back stepping up. They kind of he dribbled a good 20 yards and he was like looking around like,
yeah,
oh,
he
okay,
teed
I
it up.
have
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that kind of woke up Chelsea, just like having that banger of a goal like so early too.
Hmm.
Um, I think it could have been interesting if their West Ham second goal stood, um, whereas he
Oh,
was onside.
Fulkrug.
Yeah. Um, I wish it stood just because of his dancing vibes, but
Um, his dancing skills though, I was like, okay, he's been
yeah,
practicing
he kind
before.
of yeah. I know he's been practicing in the mirror.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. I kind of find it funny with some of these pundits because after the Club World Cup, it was all about, oh, Chelsea, they're title contenders for sure. And then after the Palace game, they were like immediately switched the script in terms of, oh, Chelsea, they're not there yet. Uh, they look pretty poor. Da da da. Are they even going to finish top four? Um, and I'm like, they need to take a step back. Like first game and against like a solid Palace team, honestly, under Glasner.
Coming off
Uh,
momentum, winning
yeah,
both
exactly.
FA Cups, just good preseason. Yeah,
And then after this game, everyone's like, "Oh, Chelsea 5-1, they're back. They're a title contender." Like some of these pundits like they annoy me in terms of like they don't take a step back and look at the full picture.
yeah. It's game week one's too early to make full judgments. Um, but game week two, you kind of see it there, and I think it's fair enough to make judgments on West Ham. I think they'll be having a international break's going to be coming up in like 2 weeks, so Harish and I were planning on doing a combined like Premier League table, just being able to see a few weeks here and there. That would be a fair assessment, but it seems like West Ham are going to be definitely struggling this year.
Yeah, I mean, we still do have a week left in terms of the transfer window.
Mhm.
Do you see I haven't really seen any links to West Ham getting a player but like what positions or position do you think do they need?
I
And then I
think,
guess like do you think Graham Potter like what's his picture looking like for you?
um, I think honestly, this team, I don't know, their back line, they do have good players, like, but they're just not performing to their standards. Like Max Kilman, we saw him at Wolves. Like, it might be a step far, but I thought he was quite elite playing for Wolves. But at West Ham, he just looked completely different, like not the same player. Tadibo, he was highly rated coming out of the league, just been off of it. Um, I will say I like their new signing, that Malik Diouf, um, the left wing back. I think he looks promising. Only 20. Wan Bissaka, he just had off off day this game versus Chelsea. But it's that midfield that just not exciting at all. Ward-Prowse and Souček, like both of them starting is they need someone to fill in that midfield.
Yeah, I felt like Alvarez was good with them like defensively and I feel like they're just really missing that. We were able to like easily cut West Ham open. Um and to your point with Kilman, I feel kind of bad for that back line, like both the center backs, like they were stepping up almost to the midfield. They didn't know who to mark. I think it props to Maresca kind of being really flexible in the way we attack. Like sometimes it's a like a 3-3-5-2, 3-4-3, like just different ways. And it seemed like the center backs were confused, like who to
Who to
mark.
pick up? Yeah.
So, do you think Graham Potter lasts kind of the end of September?
I think September, but definitely I don't think December, no, no, no chance he makes it to the winter transfer at all. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Especially because I see them suffering like a few more heavy defeats. So,
Yeah, they panned over to the during the game, they panned over to the owner and the West Ham over, David Sullivan, and he's like this old head, and he's like 75. And I was like looking him up a little more because I was like, who's that next to him? He's married to someone who's like 35 years younger than him.
oh, that's weird.
And dude, the way he's made his like wealth is insane. It was like through he was like one of the OG founders of like porn
Oh Lord.
and like sex shops and all that type of stuff.
Jeez.
And so he made like his first million like by the time he was 25, but basically through that business. But I was like, damn, that's like as a West Ham fan, I'd be like, it would kind of suck to be attached to that.
Yeah. And West Ham, their games they have in September are tricky, so I feel like even if results don't go that way their way, like they'll let it slide just because they are tricky matchups. But in October, in the back end of October, they got like back-to-back matchups where it's like going to be the relegation teams, Brentford
Mhm.
and Leeds. If they lose both games, like by then he's got to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's looking tough for West Ham.
And I think
Those
it's
fans.
time for Jared Bowen to say his goodbyes. I mean, I like him as a player, and I think he's holding back his career. If he, I mean, it shows his loyalty, but at the same time, like he could be playing for a better side.
Yeah, I could see him like if he went to like Man City, like
Mhm.
being a starter for that team.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Like I do feel bad. He's loyal, but he's also one of the elite players in England.
Hmm.
It's crazy. Even at halftime, a bunch of West Ham fans starting to leave. I was like, dude, that's a waste of a ticket, man.
Yeah, and that just does your team dirty. Because what was the score at halftime? Wasn't it? Yeah, 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, like I mean, you get one goal early in the second half or something, you're back in it. And
I guess.
that fourth goal was killer. Just the manner they conceded, just horror.
Yeah.
Hermanson. We had
I
a
guess
few goalkeeping horrors.
this weekend. Yeah. Well, we can move on to the next one where there was uh, James Trafford had a really tough day, unfortunately. But if you
Thank
want
goodness he's not at Old Trafford.
City Spurs, I'll let you kind of walk through the summary of this and what stuck out. But I will say three things that you're guaranteed with Thomas Frank is number one, defensive shape and like that stability. It's really hard to break down his side, like even at Brentford. Number two is just like that hard work and like that high press is elite. And the way they do it, super organized. And then number three, just murdering packs of chewing gum. That man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You think he's a mint flavored?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
he looks like that type of guy. Spearmint for sure.
Um, yeah, I thought, I mean, uh, what do you call it? City had overall like more of the ball, but in terms of chance creation, it was pretty much Spurs. Um, City, the only ones I remember was like legitimate chances. Holland missing a header. Um, oh, Marmouche when Holland slipped him through. That was old school rewinding back to Holland that could link up, create chances himself. But Marmouche miss, and then it was right before half or 10 minutes before half. Uh, s- Richarlison gets slipped through and then plays it to Brennan Johnson back post. And we'll get to some players later. We'll touch on Brennan Johnson, and then yeah, right before half in stoppage, it's literally like last kick before half. Goal kick, playing out the back, James Trafford. Yeah, and Nico Gonzalez called for the ball, but James Trafford, terrible pass. And just they get caught up, and Paulinho is there to slot it away. So cheap giveaway.
Yeah, I mean that is you got to blame James Trafford for that. Even if Nico Gonzalez was calling for it, like you see the full picture. Just you're playing your teammate under pressure like that. But also like you see it with like even Ederson. He's done that in the past. It just goes down to like how Pep wants to play.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel like at times players just need to take responsibility.
Yeah, it's just like just kick it long, like especially right before half. Like that's a dagger.
Hmm.
Um,
But
and
yeah,
then
City just did not create chances
mm,
yesterday morning. Like, yeah, that one Holland pass to Marmoush, you were saying, like, even that, like, there were a lot of lucky like bounces there, and like he kind of bulldozed his way through. But that was like it was kind of luck. Like their one chance
mhm.
before half.
Yeah, and Marmoush just he doesn't look great out wide. Like I feel like he has to play like right behind the striker. I mean, that's where he thrived at Frankfurt, and that's what he's kind of known for. But actually playing out wide, I know Doku, he's kind of a one-trick pony, but he's kind of like a lot better at that position than Marmoush. Um,
Yeah, I like Doku a lot, and I hate when like you say one trick pony though, because like I guess it's fair he does like have one or two tricks really, but like it's a like he's
it is
so
unstoppable,
it's
like the way
unstoppable.
he,
Yeah,
yeah,
because there was that one where he had Poro on his skates in the second half, and like
Mhm.
if he literally just went down, it would have been a penalty because Poro like took his shins out.
Yeah, he was reaching for that one. Um, yeah, so
But
City just did
uncomfortable
not.
conversations with Nico Gonzalez too. I think City got scammed with him.
Yeah, Pep labeled him as Mini Rodri. No way. It was good sign to see Rodri back.
He looked rusty though.
But yeah, he didn't look the same.
And then this was, I don't know, Shirky. He was really quiet. Just didn't do much. I guess that one cross to Holland that you mentioned, but
No influence. I think Oscar Bob was out of all their front, like only one trying to create, like able to create chances for Holland. Um, and then Reinders, he was silent too. Like I forgot he was even playing until later on. Um, so like just no influence at all.
and this is where like I go back to that debate about like who's the best striker in the world, you know? And it's a game like this, like Holland, he had the least touches out of all players, and he just relies so much on service. But that's why like obviously he's one of the best finishers. But I think like Harry Kane, for example, is like elite level, like higher than him, just because like I mean, even the Bayern game this weekend against Leipzig, like he's dropping deep and like creating chances for Luis Diaz. Like he's almost like a midfielder at times, but then he's also elite finisher too. Um, and like Holland just he relies so much on the service, and now especially without De Bruyne too. Like ever since De Bruyne went down with that injury, now that he's gone, I feel like City's just hasn't looked the same.
Yeah, especially with them expecting Foden to take the reins. Um, I mean, I'll give Foden a pass on last year, even though his like horror performance throughout the entire year. Like, because we have seen Foden like off the bench, Foden like look really good before, and the season before when they won the league, like he was making like enormous contributions. So we'll see this year, but yeah, Holland, I mean, elite finisher, but he is one where like he relies on the services, but like once he gets the service, I mean, he'll put the chance away. This game, yeah, he missed a chance here and there, but
Yeah, Foden though, he if he played for United, if he played for Madrid, like the media would be all over him just for like I feel like his character because he's just so unserious at times and like even this game like no one talked about it but like after that second goal it panned over to the bench like everyone was like straight face and
Ederson, like,
Ederson was and you just see Foden cheesing like
yeah,
messing
he's
around.
laughing.
I'm
Yeah.
like this guy is not serious. Like that's pretty poor mentality.
Yeah. I don't know what he was watching to find it funny. It was comical, but still, it was.
And then
Um,
on the flip side, for Spurs, do you think that they're serious, not ti maybe title contenders, or do you think they're like serious, a serious threat this year?
I think they're a serious threat. Especially with last week's pod when I said Arsenal might drop, like be fighting for the top four. Like Spurs, I mentioned was a team that I said was going to give them trouble for that fourth spot. But with the signing of Eze, I think Arsenal should secure the top four. It'd be quite embarrassing if they don't. Um, so I think Spurs they could still get that fifth spot. Um, but if Arsenal hadn't gotten Eze, I think Spurs could have challenged for that fourth for Arsenal. Um, because
Yeah, it's shambles that they were. Uh, yeah, I don't think we talked about it because it wasn't official, but Eze, he's officially a gunner. He made his walkout during the Arsenal game in the Emirates, but that was a huge blunder by Spurs and Daniel Levy.
they had they were linked to him like 2 weeks in advance. And you see how, did you hear the story of how as they made the move?
Kind of. I heard. I'll let you go, but I think I heard reports on like how Spurs fumbled it.
Yeah, apparently, like Eze was ready to go to Spurs, like he was about to fly or go what like to Spurs, like center whatever to sign the paperwork, but then like um the day of that Wednesday morning, he called Arteta and was like, "Are you sure you don't have a spot open or anything where I can come?" And then like Arteta's like, with the injury, he's like, "Yeah, we'll come."
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw also just Spurs. I think it was longer than 2 weeks ago that I think they were linked to him like almost a month, 3 weeks ago.
I think it was might have been before the Community Shield.
Yeah, and the reports that I was reading was it was kind of because of Daniel Levy. They originally offered the same thing that Arsenal did, and they agreed on 55 mil plus add-ons.
Mhm.
And then I guess Daniel Levy was so sure that they were going to secure him by the end of the window that he changed his agreement to I think it was like 20 mil
Mhm.
and Richarlison.
Richarlison catching strays.
And then Palace were like, no, we're not doing that. And then it just kind of dragged on. But it was really Daniel Levy was kind of out of touch. And then Arsenal had the like window to kind of hijack the deal.
Yeah, how you gonna sell Richarlison on World Cup year Richarlison? You're about to get the R9. But yeah, just yeah, fumbled there. So even though Pop Sar like he didn't look bad, but the 10 role is just not his. I mean, he didn't look bad at all, but that's just not his role. So I think they could get Kudus in there, but I kind of like Kudus out wide. He's a bit
Hmm.
more like unpredictable for opponents when he's out wide, kind of like the Cole Palmer
Yeah.
type situation there. Um, so I think they just got to bring someone on the 10. I know you mentioned you like that Monaco kid, Akaleche.
I think he would be a perfect fit for Spurs. I mean, Eze obviously would elevate them,
Yeah.
but I think him because he's got like Eze is more of a ball carrier, but he's more that first pass mentality, and I think he would really pair well with Kudus, especially.
Hmm.
Um, But yeah, they fumbled it with Eze. I was like, what is Like, it reminded me of back in 2019 when Daniel Levy, he's just so out of touch with like the football world, I guess. Like,
Hmm.
um, apparently Hugo Lloris was saying, uh, like 4 days before the Champions League, uh, he called all the players and he's like, "Hey guys, a sponsor got us a gift for all you guys," and he handed them all these like luxurious watches, and on the back of the watch was like engraved with the player number, name, and it said Champions League finalist. And Luis is like, "Why would they say finalist? You know, like." And before the Champions League game, like,
Oh, that's
you know,
weird. Yeah. I will say one signing they Tottenham got right was João Palhinha. His stint at Bayern didn't work out. Not to his fault. It's just the way they play. Just doesn't really suit his style. I think that he's kind of built for the Prem. Um, and so he's looked really good. Uh, oh, he's 30. I thought he was younger than that. But still, good signing, I
oh
think.
yeah,
Player we could use. Bentancur looked good, and then
yeah, the
Brennan
two.
Johnson. I like him. I know there's like a little hate here and there for him, like not thinking he's like the most technically gifted and stuff. Pace merchant, yada yada. But
That's me. I think he's a
Brennan
pace.
Johnson, I think his work rate phenomenal, and he's one of the very few players in the league that will always make that back post run, and like that's why he was Spurs' like top scorer, I think, last season. Like that's where you get like you can get like 5, 6 easy goals throughout the season, just always just following up, making that back post run, which he's elite at doing that.
Yeah, no, he is. He makes that sacrificial run, but the work rate part, I don't. He frustrates me with his work rate. Like defensively, he's kind of switched off at times, but like also he was. They had a couple opportunities for some counters, and he was caught offsides, and like I'm like, dude, he just kind of like walks back towards the defensive line, and I'm like, dude, you need to like when you see the whole back line, like you should know where to stand, and he's just kind of lazy with that. But for me, I still think Odebear, he's like, I think eventually he's gonna be one of the star guys that they kind of play through on one side and Kudus on the other. I'm still banking on him starting over Brendan Johnson eventually.
Yeah, Odebear, I just haven't seen enough of. I know he played with that team that got relegated,
Burnley,
Burnley.
yeah.
And he was probably their star man then, but I don't know. I just haven't been convinced enough from Odebear just yet.
Dude,
So
I see it with him. I can see a star in the making. Um, and then what do you think about kind of Spurs back line? It's kind of the same back four. It seems like Jed Spence is kind of locked
lockdown,
up.
yeah,
Hmm.
left back role. He's a lockdown. Because Oscar Bobbs, he's tricky and he's quick, but I mean Jed Spence, he can match you pace for pace. And then commentator almost jinxed Van de Ven when he was making this darting run. He's like, I know Spurs fans gasping there, hoping Van de Ven doesn't pull a hammy, but I mean them not playing like a stupid high line under Ange. I mean this just suits them. I think Romero looks a bit better as well. So I think back line they look pretty set.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the early season form, but I don't know. Spurs kind of they look scary this year.
Yeah, and they got a actual like manager that's uh, understands the game a bit more, like not making rash decisions, plays it smart. So I think they'll give a lot of teams trouble.
It'll be interesting when they play some of the lower block teams, how that works out because you had James Madison and Kulusevski who could kind of unlock the keys, but
Mhm.
without them, it will be interesting to see who can fill those shoes. And maybe it's Odebear off the bench, Mateus Tell off the bench, but
They got good bench options, yeah, especially with return. I don't know how much longer Kulisevsky's out, but that'll be a big boost once he's back.
But going to a different team that you think will be, competing for that top four spot. If we go to the Emirates, Arsenal convincing win against a lower tier team in Leeds, convincingly won 4-0. Took a while.
Five.
5-0, yep. It took a while. The first 20 minutes kind of looked back and forth. Leeds kind of looked comfortable defending. The high press too. They were not shy from that. But ultimately, once the Arsenal goal in stoppage time, Saka crazy finish, but that was kind of a dagger.
Um, Also shouts out our triplet back in the Prem too, Dan James.
He was non-existent though.
Yeah, he said that one recovery run he had, where Arsenal was on the counter, uses pace.
Yeah.
He's definitely definition of pace merchant. And
For
also
me, I see the same player in him as Brennan Johnson, to be honest.
I think Brendan Johnson got more quality. Like Dan James, like championship level, he's like one of the best players. And then
Hmm.
uh Prem, he not cut out for it. But I think yeah, most of the takeaways will come from
Dude, I
Arsenal.
don't know, dude. Brennan Johnson, bro, you want to talk about one trick pony? That's a one trick pony. Dart to the back post. Man.
Effective. uh Arsenal, any of you fantasy Premier League players, if you had Timber, you collected a ton of points. If you captained them, uh, even more points. But
If you triple captain,
oh yeah,
even more.
I forgot about that boost. Um, but yeah, I think Arsenal, big win, easy, take care of business, versus really a championship side. Um, Gyökeres gets a penalty goal. Celebration just did not hit because his first goal was like the quality was just trash touch, like looking like he's
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
running in some like heavy ankle weights, like poor quality finish. And then I'm like, the celebration just does not hit after this goal.
Dude, I know you're waiting for Sesko to score before you can stop hating on Gyökeres, but dude, that was a nice finish near post.
It's poor defending, man. We'll see when he plays actual good.
What do you mean poor touch though? Like
That first touch, like when Calafiori
that,
set him off.
that was elite where it was a touch and he could run right vertically. Dude, that was elite. And then he like ran at the defender and like he took a big touch, enticed the defenders and then he did a little mini touch.
You come up against some more of the elite teams, man. He is stat padding against championship level teams this game.
Bro,
Uh,
I know you're just waiting for Sesko to start scoring so you can stop hating.
set,
Nah, dude.
I'm telling you, Joker is just I don't know, man. I'm still not convinced.
And to those listening, Narv texted, he's like, Narv was hating all game on Gyökeres, but 15 goals is his marker. He said he's not reaching, and I think he'll get that
Yeah,
impressively.
he got the penalty goal to share it up.
Bro,
Declan Rice,
we were talking
how you
about
not good?
Haaland. We were talking about Haaland getting penalty goals. You never say anything about that.
That's because he hits like 30s.
He hit 30.
Mm.
You want to see Haaland last year? See him this year? You want to talk about Haaland racking up hat tricks versus what last year? Wolves. He got 6 goals in the first 2 games against some weak sides.
I just don't know, man. Joker's just, I don't think.
You got to look at his off-ball movement, though. I think Arsenal are about to be even deadlier because they haven't had a profile like Gyökeres to play with, and he was making some elite runs down the channels, and like Calafiori, Zubamendi, like they were missing a lot of his runs down the channels. I don't know if you saw that. Took off your hate watching lens, but like he was making some elite runs, and like he looked really frustrated at times. But I think like Arteta's probably seen that too, and I think Arsenal they can get even deadlier.
Yeah. We'll have to see on that point just because with Saka injured.
Ooh, yeah,
I
big
saw
one.
the Twitter video where like you could kind of read his lips and he said it seemed like it said it's a cramp, but Arteta said it looks quite serious. Um, so we'll see what the injury is.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of analysis on his lip reading. I saw like I don't know the way I saw it. I thought he said like, "Oh fuck" at first,
Uh-huh.
and then he said it's a hammy is how I read it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I
We'll
don't know.
see if it's a hammy, that'd be a big loss.
And then Odegaard too.
That
Like
ain't that big of a loss. No,
I don't.
he was ghosting a little bit too.
In this
Odegaard,
game.
yeah, I'll be honest, man.
Nah,
He just hasn't been able to reach his heights from like his debut and following season.
I don't know. I thought Odegaard was looking pretty nice. Some of his passes and even the one where he got injured, ultimately his shoulder, like that turn was like silky.
He's a very moments like flashes here and there where like I don't know, but overall game he's just been looking off.
Yeah, but Eze is a huge signing if Saka is seriously injured.
And that's low key the issue with I have with Arsenal is uh like in the last game versus United, if Havertz never got hurt, were they just never gonna get Eze? I feel like their signings are a bit reactive. I mean, great signing, but at the same time, it's like kind of concerning because it's like a lot of people were saying like Arsenal should get Eze, but
Hmm.
like no links like literally until Havertz injury.
Yeah, and uh, to your point about being reactive, they haven't been proactive in terms of filling up that midfield spot. Like their midfield is pretty elite. Like their starting midfield, Odegaard, Rice, and Zubamendi. But if Zubamendi goes down, I don't know who comes in for him. He looked really good. I think the first game against United, he looked a little shaky, but we all know his quality. But uh,
Lewis Skelly, maybe? I don't know.
yeah, it's kind of suspect with if he ever does go down.
hmm Um, and also like I feel like Eze was brought in to play that left wing, like to start off with. So I mean, it's like in hindsight now, it's like even a greater signing with Odegaard being sidelined, like Eze will have to play that role. Um,
Yeah, what you think of Madueke? He got the start. How do you think he looked?
uh, I didn't think he was that effective.
Yeah.
I like his game a bit more than Martinelli, just because I think Madueke can cause a bit more trouble. Also versatile, playing either flanks. Martinelli's kind of, you know what you're getting with him, just heads down, straight,
Hmm.
straight to the touchline to try to get across in. But I mean, I saw Saudi links to him, so if they get good money, I think there was some transfer link of some Saudi team offering like 70 mil for Martinelli. That'd be a steal for Arsenal.
Yeah, it just goes to show their starting lineup is pretty elite, but they don't really have much depth.
Sure,
You-
Ethan Nwaneri get more
yeah,
BT now.
yeah, off the right or taking over Odegaard's spot, but even like they kind of rely on Max Dowman. I mean, it was cool to see him make an appearance, but like it's tough to be like, oh yeah, that was kind of our whole plan was to rely on him coming
No
off the
way.
bench.
No
So,
way. Yeah.
but
Um,
he's gonna be a player. I don't know. He kind of gives me a little Messi vibes. No, I don't know. He gives you some Messi vibes, dude. The way he moves his body, I was like, shit.
that, yeah.
His half volley off
Okay, the
outside the
half volley
box.
was pretty close. That would have been elite.
At 15, I was like, dude, is this a little messy right here? Got the long hair already too.
Yeah, he's one of those where his like balance on the ball because he's so like small, it's like it's hard not to foul him because of his balance and like so like short like and he's agile. Um,
Yeah, even like with the ball, like that's pretty hard to
mhm.
run full pace, stay balanced with the ball. I
PK was a little soft, but I'll give it to you, young fella.
don't.
The right should have given him the
Yeah,
PK. Come on, man. That'd have been electric if Dowman scored.
yeah. There's reports though that Jokers though is their number one penalty taker, even with Saka healthy.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Interesting.
Elite. uh, but other than that, there weren't any other
It's harder to
big.
have take away points from this game because it's so one-sided.
Hmm. Yeah. For Leeds, I do think, I mean, you're also coming into this game missing your captain, Ethan Ampadu, and he's kind of the heart of that midfield and team. It would have been a fun battle to see him versus Rice.
Hmm. I'm surprised you didn't say Chelsea product.
Chelsea product. I mean, everyone should know that. But we want to move on we'll keep it just Premier League first, and then we'll go,
Prem.
go to the other leagues. But next, I guess, that we have on our list is, yeah, the last one. Uh, United traveled to Craven Cottage. They went on a train because they spent all their transportation money on Sesko, who's on the bench again.
Someone
But
said on the train ride when the conductor comes to check your train tickets, Sir Jim Ratcliffe shoved everyone in the bathroom.
that's funny. I thought you guys started off really strong. Like the first that first half, you guys looked
First
really
half in
good.
general, yeah, we looked
Man,
really good.
a
Uh,
player that stuck out to me, I'll let you, I mean, this is your team, but a player that stuck out to me, again, no bias, is Mason Mount. He, his
I
link
thought you were
up,
gonna say this dude, the surfer,
s- surfer.
Cunha, Hiselli.
Oh, yeah, he looked good too, but
Yeah.
Mason Mount, and then I was worried when he moved to that midfield too, him and Bruno. I mean, defensively they look shaky, but he's still kind of, I don't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be just gaping holes left and right, but they look pretty decent together.
Mount, it helps because he's a willing runner. Um, Even at that 10 role, he tracks back pretty well. So it's like, and I know it's like, people kind of give crap when it's like, oh, your best attributes like pressing and tracking back. But I mean, it's quite important for a system in Amarin, like having to track back. But like, I think even offensively, we are seeing glimpses of the old Mount, like quality. Like that 1-2 he had, or not 1-2, like when Dorgu fizzed it in a Mount and like Mount had a quick half turn, pass it to Cunha where he hit the post.
Hmm.
Like that was elite. Like Dorgu like really fizzed it in, almost like a shot right to him. He had like this back heel to Bruno where Bruno did a feint, got the cross in. Like a lot of glimpses of Mount kind of back to him old self.
Yeah, just quality the past two games with him. I think deservingly, Sesko, yeah, he's just kind of joined the team, but I think Mason Mount's definitely deservingly been starting. Even what we saw with preseason, he looked pretty good.
That's crazy because I guess Amarin did see something because like as soon as Amarin got the United job, the first like player he kind of spoke about, other than Bruno, obviously was Mason Mount, and said like he had plans for Mount to be in, um, he had plans for Mount in his system. So seems like he's a big fan of Mason Mount.
And then I guess a big talking point was also the penalty with Bruno. I guess first off, like, did
Chris
you?
Kavanaugh, man, why you gotta bump into him, throw off his whole uh ritual and rhythm? Like, bro, just get out the way.
But
Uh,
even like rewinding before that, like I've seen so much worse and no penalties or fouls given. And I mean, Calvin Bassey's a bigger dude, much bigger than Mount. So do you think that was, oh, I know the answer just because you're a United fan, but it seemed like a soft penalty in my eyes and it seemed like that miss was
it's
deserved.
soft. It's a soft penalty, but I feel like when it's outside the box, they'll call it as a foul. So like whatever foul is outside the box, if it happens like inside the box, it's got to be a foul. I know it's like a soft one, but um, I thought it was deserved. I mean, he kind of had both hands wrapped and not tackled him, but like pretty much brought him down. I know Mount's not really a threat in the air or anything, but still.
I think this definitely sets like a tone for the rest of the season in the Premier League.
Hmm. Um, I will say our goal to take the lead, I think, shouldn't have stood because Lenny Euro kind of pushed off to jump. Um, even though it didn't come off, Bassi I think, could have cleared it if he didn't get pushed, but I don't think that goal should have really stood. So we got fortunate with that one. Um, and then the goal we conceded was, I'm blaming that on Diego Dallo. I don't know why that man was trying to be so fancy, trying to, when Dorgu cleared it, he like, Dallo could have like just cleared it up once more, but like he tried to take a touch to do like a spin move, like loses it right away. So it's started from
It,
there.
yeah, even that decision to turn though, like I think was fine because he didn't have pressure, but it was such a bad touch
Mm.
that like I think the decision was fine, but it was just poor quality.
Execution. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to talk about Bruno. Two back-to-back games where you're the star of the like of the team, one of the best midfielders in the world, and in my eyes, he's had two stinkers now. Are you worried about like how he's been playing, or is this maybe just a one-off?
Nah, it's a one off, bro.
That's what I'm thinking.
The
I need.
Saudi links too. Like I don't know why those Saudi links came out. Like he likes United. He said he's not leaving. Like I'm sure he has like not pressure, but just like thoughts going through his mind when he sees that. Because obviously, like the Eucharist celebration does a hair flick, like so, like obviously players see stuff on social media that can affect them. So
Yeah, and that second goal, I agree with like Dallo. Like that was kind of his fault,
but
but
Bruno,
even Bruno, yeah, not tracking his
he
runner.
was ahead of Smith Rowe the entire time.
He just
Like
lost
when,
track. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah, it's poor defending, but also I'll give credits to um Cunha. He's electric, man. Every time, you just gotta like. It's like, damn, I can't believe like we really got this man at our club. Like, and he's not even playing his best role right now, like striker role. Like he's the one that likes playing behind the striker, but like he's tenacious, like creates chances for himself. Could have almost had one like crazy goal, like kind of just went over the bar and then hit the post. So I think chances wise, like we had our chances where we definitely penalty miss, like definitely had our chances that we just didn't take to win it. Um, I think Amron has set us up for like go toe to toe with any team. Um, I think the only questionable decision again, bringing in Mr. Bomb Squad. Have you heard of about our Bomb Squad?
Nah.
So our bomb squad is consists of Ugarte, Sancho, Garnacho, um, Onana, Bayender, and I think Luke Shaw. Basically, the fan base wants to get rid of.
Even Luke Shaw. I thought Luke Shaw's had
Except
a,
I don't want Luke Shaw gone. I think he's getting that role.
especially like we don't know how Lisandro Martinez is gonna look when he's back
Butcher,
after that
yeah.
after that big injury. But like Luke Shaw's looked really good. I don't think he can play like if Dorgu went down. I
Nah,
don't. He
that
can't.
bring
He's
back.
too old now.
Yeah.
But I think in the center back role, he's looked really comfortable and he's looked solid.
Hmm. Um,
Yeah, it's funny with like the way you talk about Cunha. It reminds me just like parallels with João Pedro. Like I feel like both these guys played for smaller teams and were kind of overlooked, but like both of them have such high ceilings and just happen like they're also similar styles, like so versatile. They can play different positions, and there's
Hmm.
also guys that we both like wanted at our clubs.
Yeah.
Like they've started strong.
And they both like I don't want to generalize it, but like Brazilians, they kind of have like even like Richarlison kind of fits into that category, like the a bit of the like nastiness side to him, aggression, like every team kind of needs. Like we don't have, apart from Cunha, we don't really have a player like that, and I feel like you kind of need that, like someone with like that type of drive. But yeah, going back to Ugarte, like I think that I don't know if it's Mount just getting tired, but like I think Mount. I wish instead of bringing on Ugarte, we could have finished out with Mount in that role. Because again, that cameo of Ugarte just disgusting.
Yeah, he looked poor. But even I'm surprised Kobe. Like
I'm not
I don't know
too worried
what's.
yet. I think Amarin, honestly, he's handling. I think I might be in the unpopular side of this, but I think he's handling the Manu situation well. Like, yeah, he's big talent, but I think he's just not rushing him to be like the center of attention that needs to be the superstar just yet. Like I think eventually Kobe, he will be the center piece for our team, but it's right now I think Amarin just wants to ease it into like he's gonna just ease him into our system.
But don't you think a game like today was perfect for him to come into? Especially like, he's kind of under fire, Amarin. So like, why not bring in Mainu if you do rate him? So like, my worries for him is like, you and I both rate Mainu, but like, I'm wondering if like, does Amarin even rate Mainu?
Yeah, the only reason I'm not worried is and think is that he's just easing him into the team is before the season started, he said he had really big plans for Kabi. So that's pretty much the only statement I'm like holding on to is he said that before the season started. So I think it's just a matter of time where we see him getting implemented. I think this was a game where I think Amran thought like let's just see it out defensively and
Yeah, because I think Mainu's a overall better than Ugarte, but like even defensively, I think he's as good as Ugarte. So I thought this was like the perfect game for him to come in. Even Arsenal, like he should have come in. Offers a lot more going forward.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm not sure exactly. Like I don't keep follow like what happens in the locker room and like reports with what players and coaches have said for United, but
yeah.
um, that's kind of what I'm worried about. Is like it would be a waste of a talent not to.
Yeah. And it'll be a steal if someone does end up getting a menu. Um, I think what's going to happen is we have a midweek game versus a pretty crappy team for like a Carabao Cup type game. I think Manu is going to play and he's going to just obviously like be flawless. And then the following weekend, he'll try sliding him in with Bruno.
Hmm.
My prediction.
My hot take for today, I have one every episode, is Amad Diallo should not be starting. Um, it's unfortunate because he's a really good player,
He's
but
electric.
I just I don't like him playing the right wing back spot, and especially with Embuemo. I saw it last week when he came on for Arsenal against Arsenal, and then today, like he just kind of gets in the way of Embuemo, and I think it's just because he is left-footed. Whereas like Dallo, he's more naturally overlapping. Dallo's quality is obviously not as good, but like
It's like the
it's
Ben
more,
White.
yeah, it's more natural versus Diallo just crowds the middle too much. Like especially in Embuemo, his go-to is kind of to cut in.
And yeah, and especially that Arsenal game, there's a really good chance where uh I think Diallo just couldn't help himself because he's already making the run, but like it kind of looked like he took it off Embuemo for that chance. I think that's what you're kind of referring to, especially where they get crowded.
Yeah, like I saw that a couple of times this morning.
Yeah, I want it to work because like I love Ahmad, long lost son, but like. I think he can play that wing back role, especially with Amarin like at Sporting. Like that Quenda kid was naturally a winger, turned into a wing back. I think it'll
But
just take a little time.
yeah, I guess it's just like learning to make the runs because he is
Uh-huh.
more naturally like a true winger. Like
Exactly.
I feel like he could play Mbuemo's role.
Hmm.
Those guys change, but like, yeah, I think he just needs to learn how to play that type of wing back role.
Hmm.
Because right now, I think, I mean, he's obviously talented, but just he gets in the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Speaking of Emblemo, I know he didn't get much preseason with us and stuff, but like he looked slightly rusty.
Hmm.
On its early days still, but um, Cunha is definitely out of the two big signings, he's looked the better of the two.
Yeah, and Mbuemo and Brentford too. Like he'd kind of be out of the games, but he was always like the outlet and kind of create things on his own. But like, yeah, to your point, he just hasn't looked too dangerous. He's had the opportunities one on one and stuff, but
Yeah. But I'm sure his time will come. I hope him and Cunha just don't hit the 007. I don't think
well,
Cunha will. Cunha just hasn't put away the chances, which is slightly concerning just because that's why we kind of brought him. We didn't have anyone to, well, I take that back. We didn't really have anyone creating chances. Cunha at least brings that in, but he's got to put him away now.
yeah, you can definitely see United the improvement from last year, but it's still like it just feels like something is just not right. Unfortunately, and I don't blame Amarin for it necessarily. Well, partly just his
One
decision.
thing, I'll let you finish and then we'll go back.
Yeah, just his decision making with some substitutes, I think. Even Dorgu, the way he's been using him, like I think he's been good, but like you need him to like play him down the line and stuff, like him running onto the ball, but like he's not very good when like you're like trying to do one twos and play around a team. He's more like you play him down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I will say one thing I put heavy blame on Amarin is we've only conceded it once, but like the corners is just
Hmm.
like horrendous. Like it looks like we could concede every time defending a corner, or a set piece in general. It's a little bit on the goalkeeper as well, but like yeah, conceding versus Arsenal, whatever, they're set piece merchants. But then like after a Fulham game, after the first corner, okay, second corner, now you should pick up. But it's like even after like the third, fourth, fifth, like just kept looking like we were so vulnerable.
They're the exact opposite of Arsenal.
Hmm.
Um,
And also
and
interesting, Binder got redemption, and Onana was like still fit on the bench, and then now we're linked with that Courtois lookalike kid,
sells
or
something,
yeah, Layman, something like that.
or yeah, Lehman
I
sells
don't
or
know.
something.
I don't know who's gonna get the selling if it's Onana or Binder. And Binder is like ball playing, kind of looking elite versus
Hmm.
Arsenal and today.
Yeah, and Sesko, I joke that he's kind of starts on the bench, but his cameo he didn't play much. But I thought he was a one sub that out of all the subs looked pretty good. Holding up the ball pretty well, getting your team out of pressure.
Yeah, I think he'll come to good use. Amrin
But
said he just doesn't want to rush him just yet, so understandable.
and then like some of the IQ of these players just like baffles me. Like you have Sesko, why not? Like Dallo was crossing it on the floor. Like why not put it
Oh,
up when you have like Sesko in there?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Sesko definitely can't hit 007 because his nicknames I've seen on Twitter is just wild. Benjamin Tesco and then Benjamin Seska Fender. Like, yo,
Yeah. Oh, I guess Embuemo got the assist today. From the corner, I guess. I don't
oh
know.
yeah.
That should have been an own goal. I don't know if they're gonna
Oh,
change it,
they
but
gave it as an own goal.
oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, so it probably doesn't count as assist, but
Yeah. But we'll see. Who do you guys have next?
I think we have. Let me check the schedule real quick. Is it you guys? You guys might be the week after, actually. Uh,
Yeah, we have you guys after the international break, I think.
we
Yeah.
got Burnley.
Ooh.
Ooh, Burnley
You,
and then City.
so you need the 3 points this coming week.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So if we want to move on to some La Liga games, and we'll wrap it up. But Barca, they played Levante
Newly
yesterday.
promoted.
Yeah, newly promoted Levante. Well, they went down 2-0 early halftime. Um, and it looked like it was going to be a tough comeback. And they did it. They ended up winning 3-2. And for me, I think the standout player has to be Pedri. That man is like what a time to be alive to witness him, to witness like the end of Xavi Iniesta, like their peaks and their ends, and like we see a rebirth of reincarnation of Pedri. Like he's just unreal. Like I think he's the best technician in the world, but like it's so much more than just offensively. He's like that heart of the team. Like he's an absolute like workaholic too. Like just running all over the pitch. And like he won the ball. I was reading some crazy stats about him, but he completed more passes than the entire team of Levante. And then he also won the ball back 10 times throughout the game.
Hmm.
So shout out and then scored that banger too.
Yeah, and that kind of kickstarted the whole comeback.
But then he's also a player that like he sees like his passing is elite, but like his vision is also insane. Like that one pass he had in the first half to Fernand Torres, who hit the crossbar, like that pass was unreal.
Yeah, yeah, that was nasty. Um, yeah, good comeback. Levante, I think, uh, they seem like once they conceded were a little nervous, and then once Barca tied it up 2-2, definitely rattled, and I think they could have just played for the draw. I mean, point versus Barca would have been huge, but they were kind of risking it. So fairs to them, but came back to bite them at the very end.
Yeah, what do you think of the performance of kind of the three main men of Barca? I know Pedri's kind of underlooked at times, but with Rafinha, Lamine, and also I guess Rashford, what do you think of
Actually,
the three of them?
I think Rashford, first start for Barca, I think his
Hmm.
first like 15, 20 minutes he was effective, but after that it kind of got nullified. The pitch was weird. I was telling you, like super wet it looked like.
Hmm.
Ball just looked like it was slowing down, but Rafinha, that midfield role just not it for him. Um, and then I think Yamal, this was one of his quieter games, honestly.
Yeah, Barca were playing on the left side a lot through Rashford, which is really surprising, and not
Yeah,
Lamine.
I feel like Rashi was getting more of the touches. It's kind of interesting, but yeah, Pedri definitely difference maker. And then Kubarsi had a struggling first half. I like him, but he was looking a little lost. You could definitely tell Egan Martinez was the main guy that kind of was the one leading them with the high line and stuff.
Oh yeah, he reminds
That
me
high
of,
line was wild yesterday.
dude. I was drawing parallels to Barca's back line with Spurs under Ange.
Mhm.
Like they love to play aggressive, like that high line, but like for me under Ange, without Van de Ven, it's tough to execute. And I
Yeah.
think with Barca, same thing. Like you said, Inigo Martinez, I think he was the key man. Like him being able to read the game, and then also like leading the defensive line, like when to step up on that
Mhm.
kind of offside trap. And without him, you could definitely see Levante. They could have had a couple more goals that they kind of wasted.
Yeah, and if they just had a few players that were like, they just seemed like they knew. I feel like it was like they knew the high line was coming, and they're just like impatient and like just ready to go. Whereas
Hmm.
like they just held their run like literally for a second. They would have been through each time. Like Barca's first half performance, I'll say, I thought it was pretty shameful. Like it looked. I know it's a newly promoted side, but they just looked unserious.
Hmm.
the way they were playing.
But I think this is what makes Barca like a serious elite team is this was like probably their worst game that we'll see them play, and they still came through with a win.
Yeah, but I just
Like
don't
even
like.
on a poor day, you know?
It's just when it comes to like the Champions League, where it's just like it's not going to be attainable. Um,
Mm, that high line especially.
mhm. Like you'll have teams that are just intelligent enough to just break it down.
And then if you want to talk about the Madrid game that just kind of wrapped up, yeah, Vinny scoring two off the bench. Rodrigo, he got the start out left, and I thought he looked pretty good. I know he got pulled early, but um, I don't know. I thought he looked decent, but Madrid, uh, I don't know. I felt like they looked pretty good in that first half in terms of going forward, especially compared to last year. Like they had creative things going on.
Yeah, especially with Arda Güler running the show. Um, he looked good. Tchouaméni looked really good defensively, but
Hmm.
yeah, I thought Rodrigo had a good game. I thought he could have kept playing like a few more minutes. Like when Vinny's goal came like once Real Oviedo was like pushing everyone forward, so obviously he had the free hit. I mean, still a good finish, but um,
Hmm.
Rodrigo would have scored in that situation too. I thought Rodrigo was creating some chances. He had that one shot. I mean, keeper made some pretty good saves for Real Oviedo. So
And I think Goulet's a really good shout. And I think on the left side, the defender Alvaro Carreras, I thought he looked really good.
hmm
Especially like defending, he looked good, but like especially on attack, he looked like pretty dangerous. And I think that's what they were missing on the right side. Franco, he had a poor game, but also he didn't have much help for him. Danny Carvajal.
hmm Franco looked like he was trying to do too much and just couldn't pull anything off.
You can see the sparks of like quality though. Like you can tell he's gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah. Granted, he is still 18. But I don't know that. Like, I know we're talking about this game, but like Trent didn't look the best that first game versus Osasuna. Like, I think
Mhm.
we saw the like what all the Premier League fans saw, like him getting exposed a little bit defensively, but Osasuna just wasn't high quality, and
Mhm.
Dean Huijsen and Eder Militao to cover for him that first game, like kind of hid his flaws. But if you deeped it, he didn't have the best of first games. But I think, I think Trent will help with his services. Like today could have contributed, but I still think he'll be like a downfall for him defensively.
Oh yeah, like Danny Carvajal, like he definitely like his first priority is always defensive, but I think it does hurt on attack. Like everything was coming from the left side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's kind of all our roundup games, I think.
So, real quick. So I think because of the differential, Real Madrid first place, right?
No, Villarreal.
Ah, that's right. They gave a
Except,
spanking.
yeah. Shout out to Buchanan's had a really good start to the season. He had a Hattie today, and then last game too, he looked pretty good.
I think he's on just on loan, right? I think from Inter. 'Cause he kind of had an injury-filled season with Inter, so I think they loaned him out.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. Let me see. I do know.
Dang, they've
No,
yet to concede, but they played the stinky Real Oviedo first game.
but yeah, Buchanan, he from Inter, and then they also secured Viega from Chelsea, 25 mil.
Mm.
It's crazy. Viega played one Premier League game against Bournemouth, and we made a 20 or 12 million profit from him.
Yeah, that's wild. Um,
Oh, your boy too. We sold Chukwuemeka to
Dortmund.
Dortmund official.
Y'all had a really weird deal with Dortmund. So y'all loaned out some kid to Dortmund, but
Hmm.
apparently the deal in that loan was they were only going to loan out that kid to Dortmund if Dortmund would sign Carney on a permanent.
Yeah, so we loaned out what's he's a new guy for us. What's his name? I forget. But one of the defenders from South America, he was just
Yeah, he was
signed.
young, so um and then just around the league, other just quick score line I want to touch on. AC Milan, they took their Serie A had their opener this weekend. AC Milan lost to newly promoted Cremonese. Um, Crazy scenes. Cremonese had a scissor kick to take the lead. Napoli, that boy Scott McTominay, first goal for Napoli to open up their season, and then De Bruyne also scoring. Um, so that'll be an interesting title race. I don't think Inter play until tomorrow, so.
And then Germany too, not really a game to highlight, but it was funny afterwards. So I think it was your dark horse team, Werder Bremen. So
Mhm.
they got spanked 4-1 to Frankfurt, but it was funny after the game, some female commentator was interviewing the goalkeeper and he had switched jerseys with like one of the Frankfurt guys and she's like, "Oh, so how do you feel about the 3 points?" And he's like, "Oh, we lost."
Oh, because of the jersey swap, she thought he was a Frankfurt. Oh, that's an L.
Yeah,
That's
big.
embarrassing. Um, you're on the league. Other than that, um, are who's your French team? Oh, Paris FC.
Yeah, Paris FC.
Marseille boys gave them a clapping 5-2. Um, Unknown return of uh or crazy return to Marseille, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Got a couple goals. So,
Another one to kind of keep an eye on, that I don't think we mentioned when we did our predictions at Strasbourg.
mm,
So they were good last year. They qualified for the Champions League spot, but they've won both their games. They're a young team, but their captain he came off the bench today against Nantes. I'm not sure why, but um, I think he's 20 years old from Netherlands, Omega.
hmm
He's 22. But I was watching some of his clips because I didn't watch Strasbourg too much last year. I was just kind of focused on Santos, but he's electric, that player. And they're getting Julio and Senso too. So for those listening, Chelsea will
I
be
was
having him,
hurt.
but he'll be on loan at Strasbourg for a year.
Yeah, I was hurt when I saw that deal. Um, Also just random stuff I have pop up in my head. Watching the Brighton game, I did not expect that man to be fully both arms tatted up. That was crazy scenes. Um,
Yeah, I thought Hertzer was like one of those like nerdy type guys, but
First time
come
he wears short sleeves, I was like, oh,
different
different.
vibe. And
Uh,
then Como also got a big win today, 2-0 against Lazio. But it was funny. They had gotten a bid for quite a bit, I think 75 mil for Nico Paz, and uh, it got rejected though.
mm,
But 75 mil, that's a lot.
yeah, he's still young, like
Hmm.
a lot of potential. Um, and also shouts out Everton. I should have not put them losing in my parlay because obviously playing in their new stadium, got to win. It's Jack Grealish 2 assists. I'll see if he can revive his career.
Yeah,
Um,
they look solid. It's Low Sock FC there with Grealish, Dewsbury Hall,
and Jai,
Njai, all low socks.
I like those vibes though, the low sock gang.
Yeah.
But they look pretty serious.
Oh yeah, and they just signed Tyler Dibling too.
Yeah, Southampton, they are liars, pathological liars. They were pricing him at 100 mil. Yo, now
Yeah,
40.
they got him, and then Dwight McNeil off the bench. I'm like, man, this is a strong team.
Beto playing with firepower, losing his starting spot now to, I think rightfully so, Barry
Hmm.
is another level. So it's so crazy they got that pool of Barry. Um,
I enjoy watching Everton. I think they're going to be a team to watch for.
hmm Um,
And then before we get into like transfers and stuff like that, and just some news, we have to do a prediction for tomorrow. Newcastle versus Liverpool. What's your thoughts?
uh, it's at Newcastle.
St. James.
Um, I think Liverpool,
Yeah, I think so too.
Isak in attendance. He's gonna
It's gonna
be,
be the big talking point. Did you see the letter that he wrote?
yeah.
Listen,
You
dude,
see the
this
response?
no.
Apparently Newcastle they had a response to that letter.
Oh, what'd they say?
Um, Let me pull it up real quick. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, while you pull that up, I'll just fill everyone in. But Isak was basically like, "Oh, thanks for nominating me for the PFA, like Team of the Year, and honored, but I won't be in attendance. I don't think it's right." He was saying, "I've been silent this whole time, but there's been a lot that's been going on behind closed doors that people are not aware of. I've been disrespected, but." Again, Isak, quality player. I like him, but he's just turning into a diva. And like we've talked about his whole contract situation. Like you signed that contract. Like
and there's a thing called apparently the whole situation also is he had a gentleman agreement with the previous owner of Newcastle, like part owner or whatever. But like even that general agreement's like yes, a gentleman's agreement, but it's nothing signed. So like I know that's what Jokic was kind of going off of too, but like
yeah, New Yorkers is a little different. Like when he had a year left, but like yeah, you
true.
still have 3 years left. Like
Yeah.
it's a little different story. And like you could still help Newcastle and like try to bid up the your price.
Mm. Yeah, you could have done what Eze did, like Eze handled it perfectly well. Like everyone kind of knew he was going to be Gonzo, but um, yeah. So after that whole PFA post he had after the PFA, Newcastle they said we're disappointed to have been alerted to a social media post by Alexander Isak this evening. We are clear in response that Alex, first name basis, remains under contract and no commitment has ever been made by a club official that Alex can leave Newcastle United this summer. We want to keep our best players, but we also understand players have their own wishes and we listen to their views. As explained to Alex and his representatives, we must always take into consideration the best interests of Newcastle United, the team, and our supporters in all decisions, and we have been clear that the conditions of a sale this summer have not transpired. We do not foresee those conditions being met. This is a proud football club with proud traditions, and we strive to retain our family feel. Alex remains part of our family and will be welcome back when he is ready to rejoin his teammates.
Wow. Yeah, it's not like he's playing for some bum team. He's playing for Newcastle, which
Champions League,
yeah.
yeah,
And I mean they have a huge history. Like they're a big team in England. It's not like you're playing for, even if Burnley was top six, it's a small team compared to like
yeah,
Newcastle has heritage, dude. And like
hmm
the ownership, look at that. Like you could be the face of Newcastle. Like you could
yeah,
break Alan Shearer's record. There's history to this.
yeah. They straight up made like tifos in your honor, everything.
People getting tattoos of you.
Now they gotta get removed. Someone said they just need Isak in the middle booth section, and basically winner takes all. Winner takes
Ooh,
Isak.
dude, that would be epic.
That'd be
But I
insane.
saw Jamie Carragher, dude. He was crazy when he was talking about why Liverpool shouldn't get Isak. He's like, you're spending 130 mil. That means he has to start And what does that mean? Ikatike, who you spent 100 mil for, he's gonna be on the bench. That just makes no sense. But I'm like, you do need elite players, especially when you're playing like 3 games a week and stuff. Like you need some depth.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, that's gonna be insane. Uh, yeah, I wonder what the reception is gonna be like. Because I assume Isak's gonna be in attendance.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, and then Liverpool, they have another pretty big game the week after against Arsenal. So
Oof. Yeah, that'll be a tough one.
some big games here.
Yeah, hopefully Newcastle they actually line up with Osalu this time around, not Anthony Gordon, but we'll see. And as you mentioned, transfers coming down to the wire. You have any transfer news you want to touch on, or any players that are linked to you that you want to touch on?
No, I think we're still kind of working through Xavi Simmons. And if you want to talk about our spending, we're, I think, we're 30th highest spenders, net spenders. So you can talk all about, oh, Chelsea spending this much, but we've done good business, to be honest. So we still have firepower for Xavi Simmons, or sounds like Garnacho too is still linked to us, but I really prefer Xavi Simmons. I talked about Enciso, and then another one that I thought would have been a really good signing for AC Milan and would have helped my prediction for them finishing second is Victor Boniface. But he was planning on leaving Leverkusen for 30 mil, but he had his medical today and the deal is now off. So I feel like that's so rare that you see players like something goes wrong with the medical.
Yeah, that hasn't happened in a while. I think the last I recall was like the Willian deal. I think he was like close to being Tottenham and then the Arsenal. Um, yeah, so that's unfortunate. His career's kind of stalled out of nowhere.
But yeah, that's the only kind of transfer that I've seen worth mentioning.
Yes, on United, not much. We mentioned Sen Lemons, the goalkeeper, and then midfield, we're being linked to Stiller, Camavinga, and that other player from Sevilla, blanking on his name, the French Baliba, cheaper alternative. Um,
Oh,
Agoume.
yeah, the holding mid.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
got links to those. I think the thing is the board wants Agoume, but I think Amarin wants Stiller. So we'll see. But it definitely looks like we're pushing for a midfield. And apparently Amarin said he still wants Baliba next season.
Yeah, I still think Agoume, like, if you want like a pure destroyer, you got to go after him or I think Stiller is decent defensively, but he can also offer a lot more, like going forward for sure.
Mm.
But yeah, Arsenal, just kind of looking at some stat. Did you have any other transfers?
Nah, that was
I
it.
know.
That was it for us. Yeah.
But Arsenal, they've now spent 250 million this year net spend. And since 2019, they have a net spend of 718 million. So I really think this is Arteta, his last chance if he doesn't deliver Gonzo. And
It's crazy though. Oh, go ahead. I'll
yeah,
let you.
crazy to think like in the Arsenal bench, or just the Arsenal club, since Wenger, the only player still on the team. Do you know who it is?
Since Arsene Wenger?
Winger. Yep, there's a winger.
Wenger.
Still fairly young. Played for Fulham.
Uh, Jeez. This might
Like
be
light skinned brother.
not Reese. That's way.
Score. Yeah, Reese Nelson.
Oh,
Yeah, youngster.
jeez. Um, yeah, and it's funny because like Arsenal fans think Eze is like the make or break between them coming just short versus winning the league, but I still think they need a little bit more than Eze to really win the league.
Yeah, they need to shore up that depth.
Hmm.
And then some other crazy facts that I was kind of looking through is James Milner. Now he's the only outfield player born in the 1980s that have made an appearance in the Premier League game week one. And there's only 31 players in the Premier League that played in the first week since he made his debut for Leeds in 2002. Shout out to longevity with him. And then there was another crazy stat that I saw that like blew my mind.
James Milner's got to be studied. His like workout routine and stuff.
Let's see.
His lung, like Liverpool players, even like because Liverpool was like when he was coming down to the end of his days, like they would say he always would win the pacer test at that old age. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. And I think you mentioned that Cole Palmer hadn't scored an open play goal since January, I think.
Hmm.
And then Spurs, they've kept a Premier League clean sheet for the first time in 13 games.
Mm.
Came against came
Wow.
against City, and then the one before that one. So back-to-back clean sheets now.
Dang. And also, I think I don't think this is a made up stat. I think I saw it somewhere where this is the first time Pep's lost like 3 games on the bounce um, at home or something, all against City.
Or it's same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so still early days, but we will see how the table pans out. Um, Before we sign off, you want to touch on Prem games and I touch on rest of the world.
Yeah, and then one more, I guess, coaching wise, it seems like Nuno has somehow like I don't know what happened with him and the Don
I heard it was
Macaroni.
the other way. I think I saw it was more with Adu, the sporting director.
Oh, those two.
Yeah, I heard they were beefing.
Yeah, but it
Um,
sounds like Macaroni wants Ange.
that's gonna be disaster class if they get Ange.
Dude, can you
Like,
imagine Milinkovic and Murillo?
well, yeah, I can't see
That
that,
high
man.
line.
But you know who else was on the short list I saw for that? I saw Ange was number one.
Oh, number two, Jose. Dude, bring
Yeah,
him back. Bring him
that
back.
Jose would make them elite. This
Yeah,
is the perfect team for Jose.
for sure.
But I do feel bad for Nuno because I think the whole thing is that Idu wasn't putting the signings that he was asking for. Uh,
Okay.
like
Yeah,
the
I was so
biggest,
confused what was happening.
the biggest signing, I find it kind of funny, but like Nuno, the biggest signing he wanted was Adama Traore to come. But yeah, they just weren't seeing eye to eye during this whole
Mm,
transfer window. So
got it. But yeah, we'll cover the games to watch this coming week, and then I guess next episode we'll do another kind of roundup, and then the following week with international break, we'll have a little game uh, in hand. So tomorrow in the Premier League, we have Newcastle Liverpool. Big, big game there.
who you got for that game? You said Liverpool
Yeah,
also?
Liverpool. And then we have midweek games with the EFL Cupper. That's the Carabao Cupper. I always kind of forget.
Hmm.
So yeah, y'all play some weak opponent. And then Friday, there's no games, thankfully. And then Saturday, we have Fulham in the morning, 7:30. Y'all have Burnley. And then I think the big one for me I'm watching is Tottenham Bournemouth. Bournemouth has sneakily, I thought they were going to really struggle this year, but they've looked good. Their opening two games.
Donny.
They play Spurs. Yeah, don't elite manager. Sunderland, they lost to Burnley shockingly this weekend, but they play Brentford as well.
Ugh, disgusting matchup.
And then Sunday, the last game week before international break, we have the big one at 11:30 with Liverpool versus Arsenal.
Whew, fire. Mm. Um, Around the league tomorrow we got Inter. They open up their Serie A season versus Torino, and then um, on Saturday we've got in La Liga um, Real Madrid versus Mallorca. Um, Deportivo Alaves versus Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid took a shocking loss this past weekend. Um, and then uh, that's really it for Saturday. Sunday, we've got Real Betis versus Athletic Club. Um, Speaking of Real Betis, they're apparently agreed terms, obviously, with Anthony. Easy to do that. And apparently, club to club agreements are kind of close. And then Rayo Vallecano, um, they play Barcelona Sunday as well. Serie A matchups are all okay. And then Sunday, Monaco versus Strasbourg.
Big game there.
Uh,
I'm
Paris
still waiting one more month till Pogba's back. Hopefully,
for real.
fitness.
Him and I don't know if Ansu Fati played. I think he got a
Mm-mm.
few. Oh, he didn't play.
No.
Yeah, hopefully he can change his career around, man. Um, and then Lyon versus Marseille, and that wraps it up around the world. So, like Harish mentioned, um, we will do another roundup probably next week, um, and then we'll have to. Sucks international break came up so soon, but with that, ladies and gents, that is all for this week. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back next time to talk more footy, highlight game-changing super subs, and drop takes hotter than a derby day. If you enjoyed the chat, make sure to subscribe, drop us a rating, and share the pod with friends and family. We also got a Twitter page running, so give that a follow. You'll see more posts there. But until then, keep the football chatter alive and catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.